For Matapeake Middle School, Megan Casley presents you her 2016 History Day project on Woodstock, 3 days of music and peace. In the summer of 1969, Woodstock was born, a music event to be forever known as the event that defined the 1960s. And of course, 1969 was the same year that Neil Armstrong walked the moon. Woodstock's idea came along by 4 young men named John Roberts, Joel Rosamond, Artie Kornfeld, and Mike. The 4 men were all from New York with a dream to build a recording studio for rock musicians who lived in the state. So they created Woodstock, 3 days of music and peace, not only to raise money for the recording studio, but also to protest against the government. At this time, the Vietnam War was an occurrence, so they thought this as a good chance to stand up to the government and say, war doesn't make peace. Since the 4 men were so young, the oldest being 27 at the time, they didn't have enough funding to build the studio. They set the date of the festival and began making the tickets. They estimated about 50,000 people would attend the festival. They went to local stores and services to ask if they could help sell the tickets to their customers. Many of the businesses said yes. At first, Woodstock was supposed to be located in an industrial park, but had to be changed. Anti-hippies were complaining about the festival's location, and a law was passed on July 2, 1969, that effectively banned the concert from the industrial park. Fortunately, the 4 men were offered a 600-acre dairy farm to hold the festival at. This became the official location. They began construction immediately. They had to build a stage, performers' pavilion, parking lots, concession stands, ticket booths, gates, and bathrooms. But they only had about a month and a half to build it all. Not only that, but they had to hire organizers for the concession stands, security, and of course the performers. As the first day of the festival approached, the estimate of people attending increased. The first estimate of 50,000 people increased to 200,000. Therefore, they had to bring in more food, water, and bathrooms. The two days before the festival, August 13th, nearly 50,000 people were already camping near the stage. After constantly trying to get the campers to leave, along with more entering through the holes in the gates, they had no choice but to make Woodstock a free concert. As soon as the news about the concert being free reached the people, about 1 million people from all around the world started heading over to the 600-acre farm. Only about 500,000 of those million people actually made it to the concert. Highways near the event became parking lots, as people were abandoning their cars and walking the rest of the way there due to traffic. The traffic became so outrageous that they had to get helicopters to fly in the performers so they would be on time. Although the festival became nearly a disaster, the first performer, Richie Havens, made it to the stage on time and officially started the festival. Many artists performed each day. Some of those artists include The Who, Jimi Hendrix, The Grateful Dead, Jefferson Airplane, Sly and the Family Stone, Stills, Nash and Young, and plenty more. Although the concert was thought as a huge success, John Roberts, Joel Rosamond, Artie Kornfeld, and Mike Lang were left with a debt of $1 million and 70 lawsuits. Years later, they created a Woodstock film. This helped pay off the debt and the lawsuits, but they were still $100,000 in debt. With mud everywhere from rain and an exhausting previous 2 days, by the third day many people had left, leaving an estimate at about 150,000 people. Then, by Monday morning, there were 25,000. Woodstock, 3 Days of Music and Peace, released the NHG theme, Exploration, Encounter, and Exchange in History. The creators of Woodstock explored and found new ways to make money, and of course ways to share music. They used this festival as a way to rebel against the Vietnam War that was occurring at this time. They used this to get the message, war doesn't bring peace to the people. They exchanged with the people who experienced Woodstock to make the best out of everything. When they were rained out, all the people still stayed and made it all worthwhile. They encountered problems and most definitely chaos. Despite all these problems they had in making Woodstock, they still somehow pulled it off and made one of the most historical events in history. Woodstock was definitely the beginning of something. It was the beginning of future peace and less encounters with wars, but it also inspired the creation of music festivals. Bonnaroo, Lollapalooza, Coachella, Firefly, and Austin City Limits, and plenty more. You know this was historic when Woodstock is still remembered greatly 47 years later. The end.